Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's Christina with Read.Pray.Disney. Here on this channel, we like to talk all things Disney, from planning to packing to pins to books. So if you would love to come on that journey with me, I'd love to have you. Go ahead and hit a like and subscribe. I greatly appreciate it. Okay, here's part 2 of part 1. All right, I apologize for that abrupt ending on the last video. It was just, I realized in the moment, like, this is just so much and it's going on forever. So I needed to kind of kill that, and here we go. Okay, so where I left off with was kind of like towards the end of chapter 2. So like I said, what's happening is that they're all in the kitchen, and remember, like, we're discussing that Everly got suspended from school, and Everly, you know, she uses because she carries a mirror, like a compact mirror, around. And it's almost like a coping mechanism for her when she gets frustrated or so forth. She flips it open to see Angel, who she's deeming Angel. We don't know what this person's name is, but so she opens it up because she almost has a need to see, a need to look. And so when she does so, she doesn't see Angel in this moment. She sees her mother, who is old and frail and sickly, and like she had lost weight, and her usually, like, she's pale and blood dripping from her nose, and there's all just bad. She looks bad, and it's shaken Everly. Like, she can't, she's almost entranced. She's entranced to this image. And Harley comes, she's like, hey, what's wrong? What's wrong? And it kind of jolts her out of the what she's seeing. She closes the mirror and snaps it up, but she doesn't tell anyone anything because no one in the family knows that Everly is seeing stuff in mirrors. So, or at least in this compact mirror, no one knows this yet. So anywho, all that also that's happening is that Harley wants Everly to go to this party with her, and so the girl, or Harley, convinces mom to let Everly go even though she's in trouble, and they go to this party. So chapter 3 picks up with the party, but something that we want to keep in mind is that Nicholas is an interesting character. Nicholas, remember, is their mother's husband. And he was out of the room when the situation happened, but when Harley was trying to wake or, you know, shake Everly out of this, he comes flying into the room. He's like, what's wrong? Are you okay? But she didn't scream. No one screamed, no one yelled or anything like that. So Nicholas, just to go ahead, he's magical too. He's a sorcerer. And we learn this in chapter 3. So let's get there. While the girls are at the party, Everly kind of runs into, you know, not trouble, but, you know, she runs into prom queen again, and, you know, it's not a fun interaction and so forth. And so Everly goes to kind of walk off and just, you know, be by herself for a little bit. And funny thing about it is, remember I told you there was a goat in school? Well, there is this random bunny that comes hopping up to Harley, and Harley picks up the bunny. He's like, oh, you cute little. So she's in the middle of this party and she's holding a bunny. Like, no one's gonna say anything. You know, I don't know. And she's talking to it. You're like, oh, yeah, it's weird. And no one says anything. Anyway, everybody just accepts it. So Everly goes off by herself. And of course, when you walk off by yourself, things happen. Well, Peter comes up and he like grabs her and almost daggone near assaults her. Like, he grabs her and he's telling her, I miss you, I love you, you know. Or he doesn't say I love you. He goes, I miss you, I need you, I want you, and, you know, I was wrong. And she's like, you are disgusting and gross and you need to get away from me. And he wouldn't. He kept trying to pull her in, and he plants one on her and she decks him. She's like, 2 people in one day, she's had to break their nose. I'm like, ooh, girl, the nose breaking. So she breaks his nose too, and, you know, he's all, So, but before he can get himself together, she leaves and she goes into the house to clean up because, you know, a little bloody. And when she's in the bathroom, this is the interesting part. She's in the bathroom, and as she's looking into the bathroom mirror, she looks up because she thinks she's going to see Angel, but she doesn't. She sees what she calls is a different person, but it's herself. She sees herself, but herself is like all in this leather clad outfit with a crown, blood red crystal roses. Oh, I can't say that right. Remember, she has white hair and this blood red crystal roses, or a crown is on her head, and her eyes are, the shadowed, with cold makeup, lots of heavy makeup, and just black leather and so forth. She's like, who is that? So she sees her in the mirror, and herself says to her. So Everly is saying to, what's wrong with you, herself, what's wrong with you? And so the image that she says, that she sees says, you want to know what's wrong? Look, see. And she shows her another scene. So the mirror kind of ripples, and there's this scene. And the scene is of her mother and at home, her mother at home, and she's talking to another person, which is a witch. A witch has come into the realm to see Audrey and tell Audrey that she needs to come home and she needs to bring the girls home, because it's dangerous there for them, or in here in this realm and so forth. But she is like essentially being summoned back. And you would think, and Audrey says in this scene that you would think she'd be happy, but she's not. So Nicholas comes walking in, and she goes, it's your fault. I mean, before and I guess I neglected to tell you, like, Nicholas and Audrey have like this seriously heavy, doting, romantic love that's just thick with real love, right? But in this scene, mom has, if this is your fault, you need to get away from me, you need to leave. And he's like, he doesn't deny anything. So hold on, I gotta get you some good stuff here. So the witch was telling Audrey that, because it says blank is dead, and the prophecy is demanding its due. You and the princesses must return. I'll give you a week to get your affairs in order. Be ready. She waved her hand and vanished just like that. And then Nicholas comes in horrified. She goes, learning I can take my girls home should be the happiest day of my life. But you're a monster. And she's yelling, the mom is yelling this at Nicholas. And he goes, give me a chance to explain, princess. And she goes, no, don't touch me. Don't you dare touch me. You need to leave. I don't want you near my daughters. We will return to Enchantia without you. And he goes, Enchantia? And she goes, he says, despite my origins, I have never hurt you. I have only protected you and our family. From the very beginning, I wanted to tell the princesses about their parentage, their homeland, their exalted stations, and the prophecy. You don't, so I kept quiet. Now they're using magic, Aubrey. I sensed it earlier today, which was the situation in the kitchen. And he goes, and you did too. Don't deny it. Everly needs to know how to control her magic. She needs my help. And the mom's like, you're just sorcering. You aren't just sorcering. You're the Overlord. And we're like, ooh, hold on. An Overlord? Like, he didn't seem evil, but okay, I don't know what's happening. So anywho, like I said, they go on about how Everly has the ability to siphon magic. Like, she's siphoning magic from her mother. So supposedly in Enchantia, so she's lineaged from a tree, the tree of new beginnings. And he's like, Nicholas is like, I can teach her, I can help her. And mom's like, that whole, he's like, I can teach her, I can help her. And she's like, no, you won't, because you're an Overlord and you lied to me this whole time. He's like, I never lied to you. He goes, everything I've ever done was try to protect you. He goes, yeah, I did come here to be an Overlord, but when I met you, I changed. And I do believe that. I do believe that about him. And I feel like he wants the good for Everly, but I'm not sure. Anyway, so she can siphon magic. And she's evidently Everly is siphoning magic from other magical creatures. And in this case, it's their mom. And I didn't realize the mom was magical. Like, I don't know. So maybe because she ate the fruit, that's how. But anyway, so Everly's siphoning this magic. And so Everly's kind of putting together that maybe her siphoning the magic is maybe what caused the mom to get sick in her vision. But mom doesn't want to say that that's happening, that Everly is doing that. And then we also find out that he goes there. He says there is a sorcerer in Everly's bloodline, and like all sorcering children, she can and will steal power from family first, then others, if the family is not prepared. So yeah, that was that. So he wants to take Everly back to if they all go back to Enchantia. He's like, well, I can take her and we can get her like an Altium. So I give evidently a group of people who she can siphon from. And Everly's mom's like, that's even worse. No, I mean, because they're essentially slaves. No, we're not going to do that. She tells him to leave. He doesn't really put up a fight. He just goes to he doesn't put up a fight. And Harley comes. And Harley kind of comes to the door. So remember, Everly's in this bathroom, and Harley comes to the door, and she's like, hey, you in there? And Everly's like, yeah, just wait. But because she broke that connection, she can't get back into the mirror. And so she's like pushing on it. You know, she's trying to get back in. And then all of a sudden we hear Harley go, Everly, Harley moaned, I need your help. Something happened. Something's wrong. And then Everly pulls away again. And that's it. So here's the thing. I'm thinking Everly is siphoning magic from her sister, because the other thing that kind of pops up, and it happened just once, but the other thing that pops up about Harley is that Harley sometimes gets these headaches, and they're like they are like these migraine level headaches, and they can't attribute it to anything. They don't really know what's it for. And I'm wondering if every time when Everly uses the mirror, is she siphoning magic from her sister to do so? Because when her sister came to the bathroom door, she was fine, I guess, and until she wasn't, when Everly was trying to get back in and see what was going on in the scene. So we have a lot going on with Evil Queen, and I'm gonna try and get it a little more together in the next videos. But as we go on through the story, I think now that we've established who all our people are, or so far who our people are, we can get better further into the story. But this is different because I'm trying to tell you things directly from Everly's head, and it's again, when you have third person, and especially third person omniscient, what we had with I keep pointing to Rebel Rose, that was different. I could just retell that. This one's it's gonna be a little bit of a challenge, but that's okay. That's quite all right. Like I said, Everly is amazing so far, and she's fierce, and I'm excited to see how this goes, and I'm hoping that it doesn't turn dark. But y'all know it's gonna turn dark. It's gonna get real dark, but oh well, we're here for it, right? All right, so if you haven't already done so, go ahead and hit a like and subscribe. I greatly appreciate it. And let me know what you think so far and where you think this is gonna go. Who's Angel? Who do you think Angel is? I don't know. All right, guys. Well, thank you for watching. I greatly appreciate it. Y'all have a magically blessed day, and know I'll be praying for you. Bye.